This week on Previews World Weekly, we discuss manga versus American comic books, take a look at Dune, Blood of the Sardaukar, and special guest Anna Mia returns for the show. It's all happening right now on Previews World Weekly.
What's up, Previews World? It's Wednesday. It's New Comic Book Day, which means it's time, deuces, for Previews World Weekly. I'm one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
I am your other host, Ashton Greenwood, aka the Duchess of Free Comic Book Day. Weekly reminder, Free Comic Book Day is taking place at your local comic shop this year, Saturday, August 14th. 50 books you can get completely free. Head over to freecomicbookday.com if you want to check out that list and get all excited and
stuff.
Yeah, I don't know where I was going with that. I was like, well, that's the end of the sentence.
I mean, that's fine. Okay, that works. I was wondering where you're going to go with that. I was like, whatever it was, I'm just going to have to finish it. It's okay. But yeah, get excited and stuff, guys. You know, and also geek responsibly. You know, we're not out of the pandemic just yet. Right. So, you know, make sure you check with your local comic shop and find out what they're doing. Hopefully it won't be a concern by August, but that's probably not likely. So
wear masks, social distance, follow the rules.
Come on, that's all. You know, sometimes you got to follow the rules, guys. I know it's fun to break the rules, but sometimes you got to follow the rules too. Ashton, I have an obsession apparently with appointing our hosts with royalty. So you are the Duchess of Free Comic Book Day, right?
I am.
You are. And you've taken to it very nicely. And apparently our special guest this week, Anna Mia, is now the High Priestess of Funkos. So without further ado.
I love it. I feel so holy with Funko love.
For Funko love. But you know, so typically you at least have you used to have like a little Funko setup behind you, but you don't have it right now, right?
I'm transitioning. Finally got my own place now. So
cool.
Next month you will see the Funko wall again behind me.
All right. There you go. She's not just she's not just a client, she's also a member. So there you go, guys. I probably said that wrong, but whatever.
Just keep it pushing.
Yeah, there you go. All right. There's some weird memory from like the 90s that I just tried to resurface. Didn't work. Anyway, Mia, so this past week, actually, the 7 minutes of Mortal Kombat surfaced on the internet. And now people are for what, like a month now? I think it was about a month ago, right?
Yeah, it's been a couple weeks now, like 3 or 4 weeks. Yeah. And I got to watch the first 15 minutes of it, or 13 minutes of it. So I can finally like talk about how awesome it is because everyone else is seeing it now. But it's so amazing. I love how well they're going into like the character development and, you know, just the scenes, some of the aspects of the blood splatters and everything just look straight out of the game. So yay, everyone else gets to see it. I don't have to stay quiet anymore.
There you go. Yeah. And like, so, well, that said, you got 13 minutes. Everybody else is getting 7 minutes, right? That's the deal. So there's a couple more minutes that Mia knows about that you guys probably don't know about just yet.
Yeah.
But, that's cool. I didn't even see this, actually. I typically try to stay away from spoilers. The movie drops this week, by the way. I typically try to stay away from spoilers. And so I have not actually watched this clip yet. But clearly that's Sub-Zero and he's up to some shenanigans. So, yeah, I'm all for this. Yeah, and like there were some interesting conversations about like you actually asked some interesting questions to the was it one of the directors, because I think there's 2 directors, right? And also one of the
producer, yeah.
Right, yeah. And so like I thought it was really neat that you asked him about like how culture impacts the way that they're going to approach the story. And as you can see, unlike that 1996 movie, I think it was a 96 movie, there is a wide range of characters of different colors and different nationalities and different backgrounds in this version, which I think is actually pretty awesome. And also a no-brainer. Like I really appreciate that. So yeah.
Well, I like how they actually touch on the fact that not everyone knows each other's language. Like, you know, when you have a Chinese guy and then you've got a Japanese guy, they're not going to know what they're saying to each other. They just know pure hatred and emotion. So how do you convey that and, you know, and tell their story? And they did a really good job keeping everyone, you know, with their culture and culturally correct. So really cool.
Yeah. Actually, I always hate it when I watch movies and then like, you know, it's like the 2 characters speak 2 different languages. I mean, sometimes it's funny, like Rush Hour, you know what I mean? But like, then like, but like every now and then, like, you know, you'll get that super serious movie where it's like about halfway through the movie they understand each other, and I'm like, nonsense. That's garbage.
This is the part right here where he talks to him in the two different languages.
Okay, nice. Yeah, I love that, and also like I love the fact that they got the dude from the raid in here too. That's also kind of awesome. But yeah, I just want to point that out. On the website, actually, Mia's interview with the creators is available now, so you can definitely check that out. Just type in, just go to search bar. Actually, I should probably just go ahead and make these available publicly on YouTube. They're kind of unlisted right now, but it's basically an audio interview that Mia did with the producer and the director, and you can check that out now. Go to Mortal Kombat. Go to PREVIEWSworld.com, hit search, and just type in Anime Mortal Kombat. It'll come right up. So definitely do that. Also, there's a lot of trailer drops these last couple of days, wasn't there?
It's a lot, but I'm into it. I love trailers. Yeah. Like, they're so fun. And it's just like, there's a certain amount of, I don't know, like, the hype about a trailer is almost more than, like, when the movie itself comes out.
Well, I mean, that's the testament, right? Like, the trailers will come out. And there's so many movies, like, the trailer will come out, it'll be huge, and then the movie comes out, and people are like,
Yeah.
So, but I actually want to touch on two trailers real quick before we get over to what's in comic shops. The Shang-Chi trailer. Like last time you were on the show, Mia, I said, Shang-Chi, whatever, right? And God damn it. I'm such an MCU like hoe bag.
I need that recording. Like, can I have that clip, please?
Yes.
I am such a sucker for the MCU because about halfway through it, like I was just like, okay, yeah, just inject this into my veins. I want it.
Yep.
And it's cool. The one thing I love about this, I don't know about you guys, but like I hated Iron Man 3. I think it's one of the worst MCU movies. And one of the things I hated was like what they did to the Mandarin. And I know that there's a history of this character that like, deals with the yellow scare of the 60s and 50s, et cetera, et cetera. But that character had evolved by the time we got to like, I want to say really the 90s. And he became a little bit more corporate, a little bit more modern. And so I'm glad to see that they're utilizing the Mandarin as hopefully, I'm assuming like very similar to what he was in the comics, complete with the 10 rings. But on top of that, I got some serious Jackie Chan vibes a little bit from that trailer. So,
oh yeah,
and that's the other thing I'm a holdback for. Anything Jackie Chan. So,
right, we know that.
What'd you think of the trailer, guys?
It was incredible. I'm so excited to see it. I saw someone had asked whether people were more excited to see that or was it the Black Widow movie that's coming out?
I forgot about that.
Exactly. See, I'm so much more excited. Like, I don't know. It's a new character that we haven't really been introduced yet to.
True.
There's so much action in it. And I mean, I'm excited. I'm pumped.
Yeah.
That was kind of my reaction to it as well. I was like, I'm not familiar with this character. So for me going into it, there was no like, oh, I can expect to see Iron Man or whatever to be hype about it. But the fact that I didn't know it, I don't feel like it missed a beat. And I'm kind of excited to explore more characters beyond the ones we've had for the last 12 years.
Oh yeah.
So I think that'll be really cool.
Yeah. Marvel's got like a array of characters they can focus on now, which is cool now that like, Tony Stark's dead, Captain America's in the past, and Thor's Thor's not dead, but he's around somewhere, I guess, kicking around with the Guardians of the Galaxy.
God. That was such a morbid wrap up.
I mean, actually, in retrospect,
this guy's dead. This guy's an old guy.
In retrospect, I guess Endgame is kind of a downer, but I mean, it ended so epically nobody noticed. One more thing, Fast and the Furious. Okay, Ashton, you want to talk about how insane and ridiculous this movie is?
I do. Talk about something you want injected right into your veins. Like, that is completely how I feel about this hot garbage dumpster fire. I love it so much. Like, we're 9 installments into this mess, so it's just like upping the ante every time, and it's like, so like Dom's gonna fight his brother, who's like John Cena for some reason.
Yeah, which is kind of inexplicable, right?
I can't figure out anybody's race anymore because I always thought Dom was supposed to be Latino, like that. Oh, I always got that vibe. Toretto is like an Italian last name, and Vin Diesel himself is half black, but John Cena is a white guy, so I'm lost. I'm lost. Also, I forgot to shout out to them just sticking Helen Mirren in the movie again. Like, I actually forgot she was part of this franchise. Well, and Charlize Theron shows up again. I'm not really sure how they're going to incorporate her, but there's a plane with a giant magnet and Han's a sniper.
Every time I see that car just slide across. This is another, we were talking last week about Man of Steel and Kong versus Godzilla, and like the just free roaming, just reckless abandon, like for just human lives in these movies. And I think Fast and Furious probably look at this. Fast and Furious tops it all. Mia, are you a Fast and Furious fan at all?
I watched the first ones and then I got out of it, but I just love the whole idea of like when it's a car versus, a building, the building loses and the car comes out like perfectly. Like the building explodes, the car is fine. And it's still going.
Can we talk about that time Paul Walker jumped a Lambo between two skyscrapers?
He did. That was Furious 7, and I definitely remember that. And like, yes, 100%.
There's no physics. Physics doesn't apply to that whole world.
I wish they would just commit already and just say that their vehicles are Transformers and just get it over with at this point. But
the matchup we need.
There you go. The Ashton just had a brainstorm. I love it. Hollywood is yours, Ashton. Run to Hollywood and make it happen. All right, let's do what's in comic shops. Mia's here, I'm here, and Ashton's here, if you haven't noticed already. We've got our picks this week, so we're just going to get it going. Here's what's at your local comic shop today. Hallelujah, indeed. Look, you know what, this has been, I don't know about you guys, but these last couple of days have been very long for me. Yeah. So Wednesday Free Comic Book Day is usually my chill out moment, right? I get to like just, veg out, read some comics, look forward to the next round of comics the following week. So I'm curious, and I'm going to start with Mia, since she's our special guest.
That's an honor.
What is your pick this week? What are you looking forward to?
Okay, so I kind of cheated. I have two that I wanted to highlight, but my big one is the Marvel Alien, and I did not know that this was happening. I don't know, as a huge Alien fan, I don't know how I didn't know about this, but I'm super excited for Marvel to take on the Alien franchise. I mean, I have no idea what to expect going into this. I would love to have like the whole, what was it, Predator versus Superman thing. If we can get like superheroes with Alien Marvel characters, yes, I would love to see that. And then my other one was from Boom Studios, Jim Henson's The Storyteller. Oh, yeah. I vaguely remember this series as a kid, and it just scared the bejesus out of me. Even the dog was creepy, and the dog was meant to be like his friend and companion, and that puppet was horrifying. So it's like that really creepy side of like the Labyrinth characters. And then now so I just want to see if the comics are as creepy as the show was.
There you go. No, I'm with you on that. Actually, think about, speaking of 90s memories that just resurfaced. Thanks for bringing that up. I totally forgot about that show. It was like the human dude and the little Muppet dog. And yeah, that's right. I totally forgot about that. Sit down in front of
the fire and tell you these stories, and they were always super like...
There it is.
But he was creepy on the show. He looks nice there, but when he was talking on the show, it was really creepy. And like all the stories were really dark.
Yeah.
Like they were super dark story. I was like, this is for kids. It was the 80s thing where like I don't understand how some of that stuff was titled for kids.
Oh god.
Because they were horrifying.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like, I mean, from Gremlins to the Rambo cartoon, and beyond. There's so many things during our childhood that I'm like, Johnny's telling us we got some comments in here. What's going on in the comments right now? First of all, Chris Lawless says, "Hi, Anamia."
Hi, Chris.
Kathy Park Nyman, waiting for the new Spider-Man movie trailer. That's a big one. Yeah. What you got? You amped for that too, Mia?
Oh yeah. Super excited when they showed the title. Like that was the best thing when they like played off the fact that Tom Holland couldn't keep a secret. I love
right. Yeah. Look, hold on. Chris is saying next Transformer comic crossover, Transformers meet Fast and the Furious. You know what? Who has a fat? IDW has Transformers. Look, I will sign up for that. I want to see Transformers and Fast and the Furious. They've done My Little Pony. They've done the Terminator. Like, at least make a comic book out of it, for God's sakes. But yeah, actually going back to your first pick, Mia, the Alien book. Yeah, Marvel's got the Alien license for sure, and you know what? They have already got some variant covers coming out that are, just Alien versus this character, Alien versus like other Marvel characters, and they got Conan last year, and they've crossed him over to the point that he's an Avenger now. So who knows? Maybe we'll get an event: Alien versus Predator versus the Avengers.
Oh yikes!
Ooh.
Yeah, wouldn't that be cool?
My brain's like going now. I'm like, oh wait. Oh.
There you go. Look, we're just giving the comic industry all sorts of great advice this week. Let's just keep it going.
You're welcome.
They just need to watch this show. Write it all down.
Write it all down. Ashton, what is your pick this week?
Okay, so my pick this week is Markiplier number 3. I'm going to be honest, this is entirely self-indulgent. Like, sometimes I try to pick things that I'm like, this is interesting, it should be on your radar, try and pick it up if you go to your comic shop. That's not what this pick is about. This pick is about the fact that I love Markiplier. I think he's hilarious. He's a hot mess. He makes me laugh. So I can only imagine that like this comic book is going to be disastrous in the most beautiful way. So that's what that's about. I have nothing else to say about it. I'm very excited.
So who's Okay, so pretend for a second that I know nothing about Markiplier because I don't. Who is this person?
Okay, so Markiplier is a YouTuber, if you want to use that word. He's a gaming YouTuber. He does streams, Let's Plays, things of that nature. He tries out all kinds of games on his channel. And in the last couple of years, he's kind of branched out into other things. He's done YouTube series. He's going to be doing a film next year, and he's also done comic books. He's one of the larger YouTubers. He's got just under 30 million subscribers, and he just plays. His big thing is indie games, and he's also the self-proclaimed king of Five Nights at Freddy's. So that's kind of where my weird Five Nights at Freddy's obsession came from.
Okay. All right. Okay. All right. Cool. All right. That is completely new to me. So I'm totally happy for you. How about that?
I just love that cover.
Yeah, the Evil Dead cover is also kind of a nice nod to the Army of Darkness cover. Damien Cabrera, there has been a talk of Fast and Furious crossing with Jurassic Park. Might as well throw Transformers in there too. So you're talking about a three-way dance. Is that what we're talking about here?
I think I'm going to pass on that.
If you crash a car into a dinosaur, they explode.
Of all the stupid things we need, do we need Vin Diesel and T-Rexes?
I mean, we're halfway there.
Yes.
Me is like 100%.
That's what I would do. Yes. I would totally do that. I just want to see like Vin Diesel crash a car into a T-Rex and then the T-Rex blows up.
Oh, can we get Vin Diesel driving up like Fred Flintstone driving up the side of a T-Rex into the mouth of another T-Rex and then he jumps out and explodes? I would go for that.
Yes.
See, now Ashton's on board. See how?
I also want him like riding on the back of like of anything, like a T-Rex, he's just like trotting along, and like here comes Letty fall from the sky, like dramatic grab, whips her onto the back with him.
There you go. I love it. Oh, look, we're halfway there. A T-Rex driving a car. Johnny's saying a T-Rex driving a car. Johnny wants that. You know what? The franchise is damn near there. Fast and Furious is almost in sci-fi territory at this point. So whatever. Okay. Hey, I almost forgot my pick. Okay. My pick this week is Raw Hero, which is from Yen Press. The only reason I'm really picking this is because it's from the guy who made Prison School, and dirty, terrible shame, a thing that I like to admit right now. I love Prison School. It's disgusting. It's ridiculous. It's going to offend like 90% of the people that read it. But at the same time, I can't stop watching it. And one of the things I love about it is it has some of the best cliffhangers. And it doesn't do it through like action and superhero stuff. It just does it through cringe, like nonstop cringe. Like you'll get to the end of a chapter or an issue and you're just like, oh, don't do that. Come on, man. And then they do it anyway. And then like you're back to reading it every single issue. I haven't finished it. It's actually right overhead here, but Raw Heroes from Akira Hiramoto, who is the creator of that series of Prison School. And it's interesting because it seems like it's kind of about manga, which I think is kind of interesting in the creation of manga. But it's also kind of got this weird subplot about a guy who goes to a job interview, and he's late to his job interview because he stops a train groper. And then the process, I don't know. And in the process, he ends up at the center of this fight between good and evil, which is ultimately going to be like a superhero thing. So it's kind of like My Hero Academia for perverts. So
okay, cool, dope.
Guilty as charged. I don't know what to tell you.
I'm dying over you're like, I like Prison School, and then there's the Higo face on the cover, and I'm just over here dying like this is TMI, Troy. TMI.
I mean, I haven't read it yet, so maybe I'll be offended by it, but I don't know.
Probably not.
No.
There you go. Actually, don't. How do you say that? How do you say it, Mia?
I think it's a Higo. I don't know. A Higo, Ahego. Is that how it's spelled?
Maybe. I don't know.
Yeah.
I know,
But it's her
like,
face, yeah.
yeah, everybody Google that right now. Believe me.
Oh my God, dude, no! What are you?
Try.
Oh, let's control.
Hold on.
18 and older only. Oh my
You
Lord.
told me yesterday that I needed to be more aware of where the line was on this show, and then you say that garbage.
What? Did I tell you that yesterday? Did I really say
18
that?
and up.
Okay, 18
You
and
did
older.
because I said some maybe inflammatory things last week, and you're like, pump the brakes.
Well, I mean, Mia went and spelled it for everybody, so I'm like, okay, let's just stir the pot. We're gonna stir the pot later anyway, so it doesn't matter. But yes, as you now know, Troy is a surface level like deviant. There you go. And according to Carrie, because I told her I love prison school, she was like, "You're a weeb," and I'm like, "I guess I am now." So
All right, that's fine.
we're here. Anyway, all right. Enough of this. I'm not on trial.
Oh
The hell with
gosh.
you guys. So here we go. Okay, let's double our Anamia real quick. Here's what's at Comic Shop. She's going to give you a rundown of all the major comics this week, and then when we come back, we're going to give you guys some news. Let's go.
What's up, Previews World? Mia here, and I'm going to give you a look at some of the new titles in stores this week. Here's what's at comic shops for the week of April 21st, 2021. And we're just getting started. The world of comics has even more to offer. So, stop at a shop already, and you might just find your new favorite thing. See ya!
Sorry. Like in the comments, Johnny looked it up, because why not? Thank you for not screen sharing, by the way, Johnny. And now he's like, I've corrupted everyone. Whatever. You love it. Shut up. You love it.
Oh my God.
As producer of this show, I have to step in
Here we go.
and say that the opinions stated by Troy Jeffrey Allen are not necessarily those of Geppi Entertainment and Media Diamond Comic Distributors or any of its subsidiaries. Thank you for watching. Please carry on.
Thank you very much.
Please carry on.
How did I end up getting judged here? Like, I hate all this. I'm going home. Anyway, I am home, right? We're all home. Like, what's going on here? Actually, Johnny said in the comments, Ashton, this is for you. Someone is asking where to get the free Smurf comic in the UK.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, hi, Pierre. All right, cool. So yeah, the Smurf comic, you can get it for free. It will be available in the UK. You can only get it at your local comic shop on Saturday, August 14th for Free Comic Book Day, so you won't be able to get it any day prior to that. It's possible that you'll still be able to find it, after the event. But yeah, local comic shop, Saturday, August 14th, and they should have it for you. Make sure you know where your shop is and make sure they're participating, because not every single shop in the world participates. Can't figure out why, but
Okay, cool. I'm still not past this. I'm never going to bring this up 5 more times during the show. Anyway, Damien that says the show just had its PG rating revoked back to a 1980s PG rating. Actually, one of my favorite worthless cinema facts is the fact that Temple of Doom and I think Gremlins were responsible for PG-13 because they were too violent, and there was not a PG-13 at that point. So, and it wasn't hard enough to get an R. So
Right.
yeah, ultimately, both movies birthed the PG-13 rating. They're not rated PG-13, mind you, but they birthed the PG-13 rating. So yeah, I'm with you on that. Like we're doing PG 1980 style today, I guess. Pearson, thank you so much. There you go. Ashton being helpful. I love it. What you got for news this week, Ashton? I'm going to let you take over. You're on the wheels. What's going on?
Yeah, so Boom Studios announced earlier this week, I believe yesterday, that their new title, Dune: Blood of the Sardaukar, which will be rolled into their Dune universe that they're kind of creating. So Frank Herbert, the original author's son, Brian, will be handling writing duties here along with Kevin J. Anderson, art from Adam Gorham, who you might recognize from the New Mutants: Dead Souls, color from Patricio Del Peche, and letters from Ed Dukeshire. So this story will run concurrently with the original Dune novel, the first novel in the series. And it centers on the Sardaukar, which is the Emperor's elite military corps. And they're trained from birth on the prison planet to be these like elite, impossible to beat combat fighters. They are not quite as good as the Fremen. That kind of gives you a barometer. They're supposed to be the most elite fighters in the Dune universe, and technically they're not. That's neither here nor there. So to drill down a little deeper, it centers on specifically one member of the Sardaukar named Jopati Kalana, who is tasked with overthrowing the Atreides stronghold on Dune, or Arrakis, whatever you want to call it. And it's going to kind of explore his relationship with a particular grudge he has with House Atreides, and also possible forgiveness, and that's that balancing act that comes there. So look forward to that coming out later this year.
All right. And Ashton, your fangirl's totally showing right now.
I know, I was trying not to get too in the weeds. I was like, I love this. One of my like when I first read the book, the Sardaukar immediately jumped out at me because they're so interesting. There's so many things about them. They're trained on a prison planet, so they're prisoners, but they have an extreme loyalty to the person that imprisoned them, which is very odd. And they're supposed to be the strongest fighters in the known universe, but they actually aren't, because the Fremen beat them every single time. So it's really interesting. I think there's a lot to get into the weeds about there, and the fact that it runs concurrently within the novel, within that first novel, I should say, is a really interesting take at kind of spreading out this universe.
Yeah. And actually, and I love the fact that it's actually I guess it's the grandson or the son of Frank Herbert on top of that. So I think that's actually pretty cool. Like, it seems a little bit more legit than having some rando do it. Like, so yeah, cool. Look for that. And I believe that's what, July? Is that what they're saying?
Maybe.
Maybe, possibly. Sorry,
July, yes.
Yeah, July. Okay, there you go. We're on top of it, guys. Look at us.
Something like that.
There you go. Mia, you mentioned Alien earlier today, and I'm also big in this franchise. I've actually, oddly enough, been watching the entire franchise lately. Like, I've been watching it bit by bit, even the director's cuts of versions, which is a long process. I want to point out, like, it can get kind of like, not Lord of the Rings cut long, but like still a pretty long process. But the Aliens, I guess Twinsy, right, in the Alien universe, Predator, is in the middle of some heated lawsuit right now, which I thought was kind of interesting. So Hollywood Reporter has been reporting like the last couple days that Jim and John Thomas, who were the original screenwriters of Alien, have filed a lawsuit against Disney seeking confirmation of successfully recapturing rights to the franchise. Meanwhile, not to be outdone, Disney's 20th Century Unit has filed its own suit against the Thomas brothers with the goal of retaining rights. The Thomas brothers are seeking to exploit copyright law's termination provision, which allows authors to cancel transfers after waiting a period of time. That's actually pretty interesting, actually. Typically 35 years or for newer works. Given the time frame, studios are facing the prospect of losing franchise rights to many iconic works from the 1980s. So that's actually kind of interesting. I mean, you could argue that like Die Hard would fall in this category, and a bunch of other movies could. If this provision is like a real thing. I find it really interesting too, because Marvel was already primed to do a Predator comic book that was supposed to drop, I think, actually like next month, and then all of a sudden they pushed it back to fall. So I'm curious if that's because of this. And it's the question of like, well, how long is this lawsuit going to take? Because it seems like the Thomas brothers are like, it's ours, and I don't see Disney necessarily letting it go. But at the same time, it's not like they really focus. Disney in particular doesn't focus on R-rated stuff, which Predator definitely is. So yeah, I thought that was kind of interesting, worth kind of pointing out, and yeah, especially as it relates to our, the comics that were supposed to come out on top of that. Like, I know Alien versus Predator was kind of a fluke. It was just something that happened. They made a video game out of it one day, and then it kind of became a thing. But it's going to be a little weird if like they aren't allowed to play in the same sandbox anymore. So yeah, keep an eye on that. I thought that was kind of interesting. So let's jump over to trailers. We're going to be talking a lot about manga later on in the show. Oh, wait a minute. Anthony Tyler Robertson, always excited for more Dune. Sounds cool. There you go.
Me too. I'm always excited for more Dune. Even though there's so many novels in the series though that I have to admit I'm probably not going to undertake. It took me like 3 months just to read the first one. Like it's a huge endeavor.
Yeah, and I'm awful because it took me like 5 months to read like 6 chapters. So
What?
I know I'm awful. Jamal Flores says, "What's up, everyone? What's up, Jamal? Welcome to Previous World Weekly."
Hey, Jamal.
Hey, what's up? What's up? But yeah, let's take it over to Love Sickness. This is a new book from Viz Media. This is out this week, and when we come back, we'll talk a little bit more about it, and we'll talk about more manga. Let's go. I love the abrupt finish to that. Like, in case you didn't notice, that's Junji Ito, who is like, I want to say a notorious, not only the master of the horror genre, but also a notorious storyteller. Viz Media, of course, is taking a bunch of his collected stories and putting it in Love Sickness. It starts with the story Love Sickness, and then it has 10 stories also showcasing the works of Junji Ito, including the strange Hikazuri siblings and the Rib Woman. So, yeah, look, Halloween's coming early for you guys at your local comic shop, so definitely check that out. And that's in comic shops now from Viz Media. Before we switch over, Ilya Schroeder, hold on, is having your girlfriend explain Dune to you is something. You want to explain that?
So it might have been a mistake. I don't know. So when I was reading Dune, he asked me what it was about. So it's incredibly complicated. Even if you're the person that's reading it firsthand, it's extraordinarily convoluted. So it may be in vain. I was like, I'm going to explain this to him, make him understand it. And I made the mistake of using all of the in canon words, and I was like,
oh yeah,
the Harkonnens are doing this, and he's like, got it, the hippos are trying to steal the planet. And I was like,
the hippos are trying to steal the planet. Well, now I want that story instead. So there you go.
Right.
You're like that Incredibles meme where like Edna Mode is sitting there and she's super excited, and everyone else is just like, oh,
yes.
That's you. Just explaining it, so excited.
I mean, that's what we're here for. We only talk about the things we love, right? That's what we're all about. And sometimes the things we hate, but that's okay too. We'll get into that later. But actually, real quick, the Happy Hippos. Actually, no, now I think we just gave everybody a Hungry Hippos movie now too. So there you go. Hungry Hippos, the movie, coming to a theater near you, courtesy of all three of us. Mia, you want to talk a little bit about your Betty Page cover before we switch over to arguing?
Oh, yeah. So I'm going to be on the cover of an issue of Betty Page and the Banshee, and the Curse of the Banshee. So I'm super excited. I'm going to be on the cover of the #1. I can't say anything else. I can tell you that you should go ahead and go to your local comic shop and pre-order, because it is available for pre-order now. There is a black and white variant version of the cover as well. Oh, okay. And yeah, it comes out in June, I believe. So I'm super excited about it.
Awesome. We're actually, we're going to try to set up an interview with Mia. We've got it covered specifically for Dynamite and specifically for the cosplay cover. So Mia's in our crew. So might as well ask her to do an interview with us about this as well. Should be fun. And yeah, that's June 2nd. Just to reiterate, June 2nd is dropping, and it's available to pre-order now at your local comic shop. All right, social swamp time. You guys ready?
I'm nervous.
I don't know where it's going to go. Actually, this shouldn't be that bad. We asked a very softball question, but it's going to dovetail into something else. So let's go.
All right, so as Troy said, we're trying to take it easy this week, and staying in line with our theme from the rest of the show. We asked you guys your favorite manga, or rather, what title made you a fan of manga, and to tell us what you liked about it. So let's see what you guys said. Nick says, the handful of random Show and Jump magazines I was able to order from Scholastic book orders in school I was a huge Yu-Gi-Oh fan as a kid, so I ordered anything with Yugi Space on it. Those magazines introduced me to an entirely different kind of entertainment I had never even heard of before, and I was utterly fascinated by it. I still have all of those issues to this day, and I treasure them as some of my earliest comics in my collection. Daryl says, Shaman King, which I used to read in the US version of a show in Jump years ago. Haruki Taiki's Boy on a Quest tale won me over with Taiki's exaggerated character designs, wild facial expressions, hairstyles, and body language. The characters almost always seem to be excited, angry, or passionate, never dull. Shaman King showed me how versatile manga can be at expressing a vast array of characters' emotions. I also found the supernatural subject matter quite interesting. Mariki says, Death Note, aside from it being a classic, the manga is beautifully illustrated and is an excellent study in characterization and design. On a deeper level, it questions the vague idea of good and bad and who has the right to act as judge, jury, and executioner. And Chris5518 says, Berserk for me, the story and pacing of the series, as well as the amazing artwork, definitely helped getting me into manga. And Taryn says, loved this book along with Area 88, photo of Akira. Zach says, Battling Jelita, it absolutely hooked me in. I loved the story.
All right, cool. So yeah, I mean, like, first of all, like, I'm curious if there's a manga or even an anime that like you two particularly love or enjoy. I can tell you right now, they made a manga out of it, but like I never really bothered reading it. It was Cowboy Bebop and Samurai Champloo. Those are my two favorites. That said, as far as manga goes, I got to be honest, I'm not the most well versed. I tried to read Gantz and it kind of grossed me out like pretty quickly. And but at the same time I read Battle Royale, which is violent and like disturbing all at the same time, and I read it like issue to issue. So whatever, like, but so maybe I'm just a hypocrite. But what about you, Mia? Is there like an anime or manga that you love, the thing that got you into
honestly, manga wise, Ito's work is amazing. I've just got into it recently and I don't know how I didn't before because I love horror and manga. But he's just so good at giving you these really chilling supernatural storylines. And I mean, and they're absolutely crazy, but at the same time, they kind of get to you in a way that you're like, I know this is entirely not possible, but what if? And it just creeps you out to the core. So
yeah. No. I mean, I know like he's considered a master for a reason, right? And like there's an embarrassment of riches in terms of like how much stuff you can get by Junji Ito on top of that. So I'm all for it. Ashton, like I don't know, are you a big manga anime person? Like I feel like you might be in the same boat as I am.
Yeah, I was getting ready to say that. I don't know that I have anything really productive to add to this conversation. I'm not a really large consumer of either manga or anime. I will say when I was little, I was super into Yu-Gi-Oh! And like specifically Kaiba, who was his rival, for no other reason than like the way he dressed was hella dope. He had like unconventional buckles on his arms and like dramatic capes and stuff. This is not like productive or answering the question, but I felt the need to share.
No, I'm with it. You know what, that counts. That definitely counts. Like I'm actively trying to get into more manga and anime. And I've actually been watching a lot more anime lately. Just because I've been feeling left out of a lot of conversations. And I'm like, this is interesting. One conversation in particular that I feel like I want to maybe just not even feel left out of, but want to properly understand, is there's this ongoing conversation about which is better, manga or American comics. Now, of course, the obvious answer is why choose, right?
Right.
But at the same time, there's interesting layers to this that I think is actually says a lot. I was on a podcast recently. I recently mentioned that manga is kind of a choice of a generation. Like it's kind of like the thing that like if you're a certain age, this is definitely how you engage with the comic format, But there's also the argument that can be made that manga worldwide outsells anything that the American comics are doing right now. Right. And so I'm just kind of curious, like, what are your thoughts on this, guys? Like, what do you think? And also the people watching online, like, let us know in the comments. But I'm curious, like, what do you think about the manga versus American comics debate? Mia adjusted her seat, so I'm assuming she's ready to jump in.
No, I knew this question was coming, and I was just like, I was waiting for this because I know how you were like, I'm going to go easy and not tell a controversial or ask a controversial question. And then you said this one. I was like, yeah, this is going to be intense. But no, I think manga in some ways does top American comics in the fact that it's a slow burn.
Mm-hmm.
Most manga is going to be long, but that's because they're getting into the characters. They want you to feel involved. Like, you really come out of this feeling like you know every character, like inside and out, whether it's the main character or, you know, a minor character that might die off or not be used later in the series. But you get to know every single character. There's a lot of like psychological play involved, I feel, in manga. And then the biggest thing is that there's an end. Like, like there is an ending for manga. Like, it may be like 100 and something issues long, but there is an end and things wrap up. And so there is this finality. And like, if people die, they die. They don't come back later. You know, it's I don't know. It's this kind of realism, I guess, inside of a non-realistic world.
Yeah. No, I'm kind of, I understand. I do take issue, like I've heard people say some similar things. I do take issue with this idea that I feel like in American comics, you do spend time with a lot of all the characters, right? And I've heard some arguments like, you know, American comics always end the same way. I don't think that's necessarily true either. I think that's kind of like selling American comics short. That said, the one thing I think manga has over, I won't say all American books, because clearly like certain creators stick around. But like the one thing that a manga has over a lot of American books is this notion that, or is the fact that you get one creator on one book. So it's one voice for a significant stretch of time. And so like, like regardless if One Piece goes on for 1 million copies, right? Or a million collections, at the end of the day, it's still one person's story. And so I kind of find that a little bit more appealing from somebody who follows specific writers. Like that's usually how I engage with comics. Like I don't necessarily follow artists, but I will follow a specific writer because I want to see the themes, the arcs. Like, you know, I want a narrative that kind of like carries me through several stages via the author itself. And you don't really get that necessarily all the time in American comics. And so, which could be frustrating because like, you know, books get canceled. Like, you know what I mean? Yeah. And you'll be knee deep into something. You're like, well, this is issue 75. You guys just end it. Like, you know, and it hurts. So, you know, it kind of hurts. I would imagine from an outsider looking in, it hurts your enjoyment of the American comics medium. That's all. What were you about to say, Ash?
To that specific point, it almost feels like maybe manga is more geared towards new readers or jumping on points because there are clear starting and ending points, and you don't run the risk of like signing yourself up for a thing that has no end in sight. So if it does feel like it's kind of an easier starting place, I should say, than maybe diving headlong into American comics, specifically if you were to pick like superhero comics that are ongoing and span like several different titles, that feels very daunting. And then something else I wanted to add in my limited exposure, I should say, to manga versus American comic books, I can't help but feel like the characters are more expressive.
Oh yeah.
Okay. Yeah. I kind of eased into that. I was like, is this gonna be a weird take or not?
Well, I mean, but I think that's interesting actually. I think it's very interesting you say that because I think that might be somewhat cultural. You know, and I'm not the best person to talk on this, but I know I can talk on it from an American perspective, right? Americans are passive aggressive.
Yes.
And true. Like, you know, and I mean, like, I know that other countries sometimes look at us as like the deranged hillbilly in the family, right?
Oh my God.
I mean, that's how other countries look at us sometimes, you know, and sometimes they're absolutely right about that. But yeah, I think that might be a cultural thing. Like, I don't know. What do you think about that?
You know, it's kind of different because it's, I guess in manga, you have this ability to have these child-looking characters. You know, they seem really young, but they're having like really adult worldwide, you know, adult problems. Whereas like in American comics, it's all adults, you know, having adult problems. So of course there's kind of that like professionalism and like adultness in all the characters in American comics, whereas like I guess kids are just more expressive and they get away with being like, you know, manic and then like, you know, crazy emo the next second, whereas you don't get that I think as much in like these very, mature characters, I guess.
Yeah. No, I think actually, you have a point there. What is this? Damien says, I won't debate between the two, but I think American comics has more recently been catching up to the diversity of story types that manga has long embraced. It's been hard for American comic creators to create anything without a superhero in it, but things like modern image comics have helped. Yeah, I'd say like the last, truthfully, I'd probably say the last 20 years. There's been a shift, and I mean, look, there's always been indie comics, like it's always been there, like that's it's in comics when they started off was like there was crime, there was romance, there was superheroes were just one thing that we did, and then we lost that for a while, and now I think somewhere I want to say roughly, and there's always been indie books, of course, but somewhere around like I want to say the rise of the graphic novel, right, which is really like the 80s. It allowed for different types of stories to be told in the mainstream market, I think is the key thing here. Right. So yeah, I think something's for that. Like I'm with you. I refuse to choose. I'm cutting my teeth on manga again for the second time because I did it like I want to say like 15 years ago. I tried a couple of manga and I was like, this works. I don't like this. This works. Okay, I'm done. But I'm actually trying to do it in earnest this time, just because I want to understand the market, and I want to understand. I want to understand like what the appeal is in general, and apparently the appeal for me is prison school. So
you're allowed to feel that way. That's valid.
Stop judging me, Mia. Stop judging me.
No, I love it. It's great.
But we did ask people online what they thought. And Ashton, did we create a garbage fire?
We did. This was a hot topic. So per Troy's suggestion,
throw me under the bus.
Hold on. I absolutely did not push back though. You were like, we should do this poll. And I was like, yeah, that sounds fantastic. Let's do it. And I even prefaced it with another incendiary poll and asked if manga was better than American comic books. And then all of my replies were like, how dare you?
In all fairness, this is the Free Comic Book Day audience, but Free Comic Book Day also does manga too. So
somebody quote tweeted this and was like, why would this account even ask this question? And I was like, okay, relax.
Yeah. I'm kind of over the policing of like the questions we ask. Like every now and then we get that one person is like, why are we talking about this? It's like, because everybody else is talking about it too. Yeah. Like, relax. But anyway, sorry.
Troy's got to ask the hard questions.
I can ask the hard questions.
Someone's got to do it.
Yeah. But I'm sorry. What's going on here? So, hey, it's me. I'm back with another incendiary poll. I guess I do kind of put you in front of the firing squad, Ashton. I'm sorry.
Here, Ashton, post this.
Right. Go ahead, Ashton.
Everyone yell at you.
Right. Meanwhile, I'm crouching in the corner with a bulletproof vest. Ashton's like, hey, guys. Is manga better than American comic books? So, all right, let's go around the horn. I'm going to refuse to choose. I say, like, look, they both do very specific things. I think that the cultural differences are what's interesting about them. I'll be honest with you. I think that's the key thing for me here is like, there are certain things that American comics do. And then even within American comics, you have different subcultures and how they tell stories, which is also fascinating. And then I feel like, I won't go across the board. I won't generalize here, but I feel like manga can be a little bit more uniform in what the storytelling approach is, and that's because they have divvied up certain genres. You've talked about this on Mangapedia. Certain genres are very specific and have certain tropes. I guess it's the same with American comics, but I'm curious. All right, give me a hard stance here, Mia. Where do you stand on this?
I think they both have their merits. It's hard to like pick one over but here's why I'm saying that. No, but here's why I'm saying that, because manga is like reading like a long novel series, right? Yeah. That is by the same author, that is going to be this long continuous story, and at the end of it there's going to be an ending. And then comics are like, here's your favorite character and your setting, at least in superhero stuff, and there's different story. It's like what do you call them? Where
like episodic anthology.
Yeah, like an anthology where it's like, here's the stories about this character, but they're all by different people. So it's a completely different format. Like I can't pick one or the other just because I feel like they both serve a distinct purpose and a style that you like to read comics in.
Okay, I did boo you for saying the same thing I said, so I'll take it back.
I would like to point out that when I did this poll, I had a third option that was like, they're both good, and then I was like, Nah, I need to stir the pot.
See.
Ashton, you are just as culpable now.
Just as culpable.
I felt like if I put a neutral, like non-committal answer, that defeated the question of the poll. Everyone would have been like, they're both great.
Well, but actually, let's bring in Johnny. Johnny.
Oh, don't bring me into this fight. It's like when a parent and your two kids are fighting. It's like you all figure it out on your own. Seriously, leave me out of this.
You don't want no part of this. Okay.
Well, I mean, I have to say, like, I've read like no manga, so I have no like point of reference here where I can actually say I have like an informed opinion, like to go one way or the other. Like, I've grown up reading American comics, so that's all I know. I'm not saying that there's anything wrong with that. I have just never been introduced to like a manga comic that I would like to read. I know Carrie, when she worked here, they touted just My Hero Academia and said that was amazing. So that's a book that's always been on my radar. I just don't really have I haven't had the time to read anything. I have a 5-year-old who drives me up the wall. So
shout out to Carter.
Well, okay. Well, how about this? Like, let's just see what people are saying in the comments. What can we actually allow people to say here?
Well, we can see here, both have their merits, but beauty is in the eye of the beholder.
Why not both? I like that one. Yeah.
MPAD says, why not both? Mm-hmm. And there's one that I want to share, but I have to stop the screen share for this just because I have to scroll past some of these other things.
Right.
I told you. I tried to tell you.
And I just like this one. Where this tweet belongs.
Well, thank you. Then we served our purpose. Thank you very much. In the garbage. Throw it to the ground. Okay, fine. All right. Well, how about this? I'm going to vote for manga. I'm just going to be devil's advocate and vote for manga because I want to see where this is currently going.
Okay. So is manga better than American comics? Heck yes.
Say heck yes. Okay. Where are we at?
36.5%. 63.5%.
I think the marketing loophole here is that the question is manga better than comics? So if you vote no, that isn't necessarily you saying comics are better. Right. It's just you saying that neither one is better than the other.
Right. Okay, that's fair. We love the loophole. Yes. But yeah, you guys can. I'm sure you guys are probably already telling us now, but let us know in the comments why we're wrong or why we're right.
Yeah, come yell at me at Free Comic Book Day.
All day. The PREVIEWSworld has nothing to do with this. This is all Free Comic Book Day.
Yeah.
I'd like to state that the opinions stated by Ashton Greenwood are not necessarily those of Geppi Entertainment Media, Diamond Comic Distributors, or any of its subsidiaries. Carry on.
There you go. All right. Well, thank you, Mia. I appreciate you for being the level-headed one here, and keep those comments coming. I mean, we genuinely want to know your opinion on these things. Yeah. Like, we're not just here to troll. Like, I think that sometimes, not always, because a lot of people just like jump both feet into these conversations. But a lot of every now and then we'll get that one comment, like I said, where someone's like, "Wow, how dare you ask this question?" And it's like, look, the conversation is happening without us or with us, regardless. Yeah. So whatever. So yeah, just make your opinion known, and don't be a jerk about it. Bare minimum. Anyway,
that's fair.
That's fair. There you go. Where are we now? What's next? Mia, have you been watching Falcon and Winter Soldier?
I watched the first episode.
Oh, but what about you?
I haven't been keeping up on it.
That's okay. It's all right. I know I'm the MCU guy here, so that's totally all right. Johnny, you've been watching Falcon and Winter Soldier, right?
I have.
Hey, what did you think of that last episode?
Oh, it's just like I saw this on a meme before because I didn't get a chance to watch it until Sunday because I was out camping with the family. But I had already seen the meme of Sam opening the chest and like equating it to the Marcellus Wallace's suitcase from Pulp Fiction.
Right. No, I mean, go ahead.
You go ahead.
No, I was just going to say, I think that was a big moment for a lot of people. And I see a lot of people speculating about him wearing his Captain America costume in the upcoming episode from here on out. Part of me is like, why would Wakanda give Sam a Captain America costume? That doesn't make a lot of sense to me. And I don't think that's what they're going to do. I think they're going to jump ahead a little bit and use the Falcon costume that he had afterwards. But I could be wrong. I don't know. I have no inside track on this. But
I still like to see like the Falcon Captain America costume. I'm hoping it's going to happen. I just think it'd be a really cool nod to the comics. But I mean, I'd also like to see him open the case and it's Mephisto.
Okay.
I mean,
what's inside Sam's suit? It's Mephisto.
It's Mephisto. We can keep the WandaVision speculation going
Yes.
here eternity. We're just going to keep saying that every time we just don't know anything. It's Mephisto. Whatever.
I saw someone post in terms of like that. It was what's inside the box. It was the scene I think from episode 2.
7.
No. Well, close.
I was hoping there was going to be like a Brad Pitt. What's in the box?
What's in the box?
No, but it was episode 2 from WandaVision where they had a talent show and they're trying to do like the magic bit.
Right, yeah.
And someone posted like the quick scene of what's in the box? What's in the box? What's in the box?
Nah, I was with you too. I thought we were going in the 7 direction, but now I want that action. So
What's in the box?
What's in the box? Yeah, the ending to that movie is quite something. Real quick, I want to talk about one other thing, Johnny, and this is your fault. Ever since, oh God, you know where this is going. You know where this is going, Johnny.
Yeah.
So they announced that Michael Keaton.
I'm right.
That's the problem here is that you are right. And they're like, I can't unsee it now. So they announced that Michael Keaton's going to be in the new Flashpoint movie, right? And so he's playing the older Batman, right? Which is cool. I'm down with that. I think that's cool. If you're going to bring in, like, there you go. If you're going to bring in if you're going to play with the multiverse, listen to all this. So you can stop hating over there. If you can do the multiverse, then you might as well bring in some of the older actors from some of the previous DC films. But Johnny has been on this tear.
Hold on. Before you move on, you say that he's going to be playing the older Batman.
Yeah.
In the Flashpoint, wasn't the Batman, though, Thomas Wayne?
Oh, yeah. Well, see, I think that's kind of the speculation right now, right? So he could be playing Bruce Wayne's father, Thomas Wayne, who ends up becoming Batman in Flashpoint, right? Mm-hmm. Or he could be just an alternate. He could just be playing Batman from the Michael Keaton, Tim Burton movies. I'm not sure.
No, I mean Flashpoint Batman.
You want Flashpoint Batman?
Yes.
Okay.
I mean, they did cast John Wesley Shipp from the original Flash show back in the early 90s as Barry Allen's father in the new series. Yeah. So, I mean, different universe, but still, I mean, comics, when translated into other medium, don't always go the same ways when they were in comics. So.
I mean, yeah, I'm open to the idea. Like, I think that either one actually would be pretty cool. And like, if they go full Flashpoint and do the Thomas Wayne story, that's also cool. Because I remember the first time once I put 2 and 2 together and like realized that like, oh God, they killed Bruce and Thomas Wayne as Batman. I was just like, whoa, like that's a huge revelation. So, it might be cool. Sorry, spoiler alert for those of you. But anyway, Johnny,
yes,
Johnny has been poking fun at the way Ezra Miller runs as Flash in these DCE.
It's just me. It's not the internet as a whole.
Well, the problem is ever since you said that, I've been seeing it on the internet. And now I can't unsee it. So now, like, I went from not caring about it to being like, "Oh, damn it, he's right. It is dumb."
Okay, now you gotta look for it.
Yeah, you gotta look for it.
First of all, let's not even addressing the fact that Ezra Miller runs like he's trying to swat flies in thick molasses. He's like he's swinging around like a doof.
Right.
Not
like
only that.
Doof.
Like a dude.
But I'm sorry, I'm just used to the Flash TV series with Grant Gustin, who I think does a phenomenal job. But like the way that they show him running as the Flash on that show just seems like it would make much more sense because he has his hands running like this. You're trying to like eliminate wind resistance, and if Ezra Miller is running like this, he's just going to make himself slower.
I like what you say. He's trying to collect molasses.
Like he's swatting flies and molasses. I don't know.
That's kind of fair. Yeah, like ever since you said that, I wish we could get. I know it does sound southern. Do you have a picture of this? I don't like. Do you have a picture of this at all, Johnny?
No, I didn't bring this up. But if you just look up like Ezra Miller Flash running, it's on the internet.
Right. And I've definitely seen the memes where it's like I don't know what it's from, but it's these two people running and one person is like just being really over the top and dramatic. It's like Ezra Miller running as the Flash, everyone else running as the Flash. So if I can find it, I'll share it. But yeah, I always thought that was hilarious. Anyway,
see if I can look it up real quick.
Yeah. While we're doing that, let's do comic shop shout out. Actually, I guess you can't do that and do this at the same time, can we?
Oh, yes, I can.
Okay, let's do comic shop shout out.
Okay, so this week's comic shop shout out goes to Atomic Empire in Durham, North Carolina, and it comes from @BurnDog, which is hilarious. If you want us to shout out your local comic shop on the show, find us on social media, tag your shop. If they don't have a handle, just leave their name and use the hashtag #SupportYourLCS. We will find your post. We will shout out your shop on the show and give them some love. And also at the end of the show, we'll have some pictures from Atomic Empire.
There you go. And Anna Mia is going to be here next week again, but well, not on this show, but she's going to be on our channel doing the panel Deadly class. Did you want to talk a little bit about that, Mia?
Yeah, I'm really excited. We're going to be talking about one of my favorite comic series, Deadly Class. It was also a show which sadly only got one season that really deserved more. But we're going to have our little panel talk about it, and we're bringing on Lua Stardust. So she will be joining us as well. Really excited about it. Yay!
Yeah. And I'm going to be there too, so I'll be talking you guys' heads off about it because I love talking about Deadly Class. I did a whole video about it, so I'm way excited.
There it is.
There it is. Yep.
Oh my god!
It's like, yeah, it's even more of a burn. It's every other Flash that knows how to run.
Oh, poor Ezra Miller.
But, I mean, it's Zack Snyder's stylistic choice, and now I can't unsee it because of Johnny. So there you go.
You're welcome.
Thank you, Johnny. Thank you. As if I didn't have enough to say about the Justice League movie, they just added to the list of things. Exclusive reveal. This past Monday, Dark Horse Comics gave us a first look, an exclusive look at a book called Operation Dragon. That's available on our site right now. I definitely think you should check it out. We were joking earlier about Fast and the Furious and Jurassic Park. Well, look, if you're into action and dinosaurs, this is probably the book you want to read.
Dinosaurs.
Action and dinosaurs, straight up. It is from Bill Groeschel and Brendan Cahill, who did Silver Sable Transformers, and also German Peralta is the artist, and he's actually the artist currently on Maestro from DC Comics. So some really good stuff there. That's coming out from Dark Horse. That's dropping July 25th. It's available to pre-order now, so definitely let your local comic shop let them know that you want to get it at your local comic shop. How about that? Last but not least, I'm going to tell you guys, follow, subscribe. If you want more conversations like the ones you had today where we just kind of went all over the place. Those are my favorite shows, to be honest. So whatever.
Yeah, same.
Definitely follow, subscribe to PREVIEWSworld and Free Comic Book Day. I think it's Free Comic Book on Instagram, right? Or Twitter?
It's Free Comic Book on Twitter because Free Comic Book Day is too many characters.
Okay, there you go. So but it's Free Comic Book Day everywhere else. So definitely check that out. They even have their own TikTok. So there you go. And Mia, where can people find you?
You can find me on Instagram and Twitter under Anamia Official, and then I am Anamia Cosplay on Facebook. I'm also on Twitch. I will be starting to Twitch stream regularly, so come join me. I'll be doing gaming as well as talking about comic books.
All right, cool.
Ooh.
I love it. And I guess that's it for PREVIEWSworld Weekly, guys. I think that's enough. It's been an hour and 3 minutes. We made Johnny late.
We've had enough of
I've been one of your hosts, Troy Jeffrey Allen.
I'm your other host, Ashton Greenwood.
And we will see you guys. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Mia.
I didn't know if I was supposed to chime in. I'm the guest.
I feel like we always get people with that. Yes, we should just allow the guests to say goodbye. So yes, Thank you for joining us, and we'll see you all at the spinner rack. Catch you later.
Don't forget that you can catch PREVIEWSworld Weekly streaming live every Wednesday at 4 p.m. Eastern, 1 p.m. Pacific at PREVIEWSworld on Facebook, YouTube, and Twitch.